What's clear, wet, and never been in the Stanley Cup? Avs win over the Minnesota Wild 7-2 on Hejduk retirement night. On Hejduk, he was never my favorite player on those stacked Avs teams of old, but I always did love to watch him play. In a lot of ways, when I played sports, I tried to act like him, fairly quiet in public and on the ice just all business, but not afraid to throw out the occasional wild celly. Alright, on to the domination. Right from the beginning of the game, the Pepsi Center was totally rocking after the Hejduk ceremony, and you knew the Avs were going to have some jump in their step. The Avs do come out strong, but they end up taking the first penalty of the game 4.5 minutes in. Thankfully, our penalty kill has been on point as of late, and they kill it without much trouble. The next offensive opportunity for the Avs after that penalty kill would result in success. Of course, a guy named Bork would score on Hejduk's retirement night. Tyson Jost creates a puck battle by getting in quickly on a dumped-in puck. The puck comes free behind the net where a charging Colin Wilson takes it. From there, the Wild give Wilson just a bit too much space, allowing him to walk out on the far side. And he does his best Alex Tanguay impression to find Gabe Bork in the middle. Bork's going to do his best Hejduk impression and pulls out a top corner snipe that I don't think anyone knew he had. Hey, Wild. You're not going to make the playoffs if you can't stop Colin Wilson and Gabe Bork from scoring. Just saying. So the Avs take that 1-0 lead, and then we see that new style of Avs we've been seeing recently, where they start playing good possession hockey and quality defense. Through the middle part of the first, the Wild are limited to virtually nothing, attempting just a few shots in total during the middle 10. The Avs do take a penalty with 8 minutes left in the first, but Wild even managed to mess that up by taking a penalty of their own almost immediately on their own power play. In the last 5, play does get a bit sloppy for both teams, and the Wild do start to get some chances back against the Avs. But I think it's about time the Wild meet our not-so-secret weapon in Nathan MacKinnon. Nathan MacKinnon, Phase 1. Turn on the boosters. Flies all the way through the neutral zone into the Wild zone. Nathan MacKinnon, Phase 2. Dirty passing. Threads a pass cross ice to Rantanen. From there, Rantanen can't bury it, so Nathan kind of disappears into the background. The puck bouncing around in front, it's eventually going to bounce out to the near circle to who? That's right, Nathan MacKinnon. Then we hit Phase 2 again. No look, behind the back, backhand pass, right to Patrick Nemeth in the high slot. Nemeth has a day and a half to wind up and rip one, and he goes bar down like the elite sniper that he is. And that pisses off Dubnyk a little bit, doesn't it? So now it's 2-0, and your goal scorers are Gabe Bork and Patrick Nemeth. A combined total of 4 goals scored this year between them. Avs are clearly already in Dubnyk's head, and that would only get better and better. Unfortunately, shortly after going by 2, the Avs would have a bit of a letdown. MacKinnon is feeling it. Unfortunately, this time he goes a little bit too YOLO, leads to a turnover and a rush for the Wild 3-on-3. The next problem, Landeskog is the 4th man back for the Avalanche, and he gets caught coming back a little bit too deep, leaves the point uncontested for the pass back. The shot goes on from there. Bernier does a good job to make the initial save, but then Johnson gets caught flat-footed in front on the rebound. It comes through MacKinnon right to Stahl, and Stahl's been around. He knows what to do with it from there. Whoops. Well, 2-1 is still a good scoreline going into intermission, but you really would have liked that to be 2-0. To start the second, the Wild come out with significantly more jump, and through the first portion of the period, it's pretty much all Wild. The game also started to get much more physical and would remain so throughout. After the 5-minute mark of the second, the Avs finally wake up a little bit and eventually draw a penalty out of Minnesota. At first, that penalty didn't look very good. The Wild were about to get one of the best chances of the power play when, off the post, come back the other way, and the Avalanche capitalize. Puck rings hard off the post, creating a rush chance for the Avalanche. Kerfoot carries the puck all the way through the neutral zone and into the corner. Notice how he always has his head up, constantly looking for a pass here. First looking for Yakupov. The eventual pass is going to be Soderberg, crisscrossing with him, cutting to the net. And Kerfoot does a great job to get his stick around Dumba on the goal line side, and then just a perfect pass to Soderberg that he knows exactly what to do with. So now you got a goal from your second power play unit as well. Gotta tell you, Minnesota's defense not holding up well against the Avs offense. Boy, are those passes from Kerfoot fun to watch as well. If he can continue to do that, the Avs might really have something with him there. The middle part of the second was very grindy, which the Avs were happy to do with their 2-goal lead. They have no problem sitting on it. As time continues to go on in this game, you can see that Dubnyk is not a happy camper, and it's only going to get worse for him. We get inside the 5-minute mark of the second, and Dubnyk is going to make a big mistake. The play actually starts out fantastic for Dubnyk. Zadorov makes a great cross-ice pass to hit McKinnon coming up the near side, and Dubnyk just stonewalls him as the puck goes to the corner. From there, Rantanen throws it behind the net, but it gets caught up, and it seems like the Wild are out of danger here. They should be able to throw this puck out, but they make a very non-playoff team play and fumble this. It comes out right to the middle of the circle where Landeskog is waiting. He rips a shot on net. Dubnyk seems to have it here, but somehow it just falls out of him and trickles away. Rantanen comes up with it and flips it in on the backhand. Wild would challenge the play for goalie interference. There was absolutely none there, despite whiny Dubnyk complaining constantly anyway. By the way, that goal puts Rantanen on pace for a 30-goal season. That's alright. Alright, up by 3. You should be able to take this into the second intermission to have this game on the lock. Not so fast. Anton Lindholm ends up taking a penalty with just over 2 minutes in the period to go. And very, very few players had a tough night in this one, but Lindholm was probably one of them. This penalty would end up costing the Avs. Suter's just going to ring the puck around the boards here to Zucker on the far side of the net. Zucker then has plenty of time and space, so he's just going to walk out and throw the puck towards the net from a tough angle. And who else is waiting for the rebound? Eric Stahl. At the same time, Barberio gets caught trying to play goalie himself, almost exactly mirroring Bernier's moves, kind of interestingly, but that's not great defense, and it ends up in the back of the net. So the Avs give up another last-minute goal to the Wild, and the Wild are kind of bad, so that's not so bad. But if this were against a better team, that could be a big issue. Still, you've doubled the lead from the first intermission, and you take it up by 2 at the second. The third period starts off a bit slow with a lot of whistles and just choppy play in general. Then 4.5 minutes in, the Wild continue to shoot themselves in the foot with silly penalties. Zucker crashes into Bernier and gets a goalie interference call. Remember that penalty. Avs looking like a real deal playoff team in this one, make them pay. Carl Soderberg in front does a ton of hard work while Dubnyk is just hacking and slashing away at him. He stands his ground and eventually gets rewarded. Yakupov unloads a monster one-timer. The rebound springs out hard right to Kerfoot on the near side. Kerfoot, again showing his incredible vision, finds the seam pass to Yakupov, who rips it. Soderberg right in front, jams it away, and back behind Dubnyk. The second power play unit, again, this time even Yakupov getting involved, and 2 goals for Soderberg. That keeps him on the 40-point pace for the season. One of the biggest inconsistencies for the Avs on this year has been depth scoring, and Soderberg has been that depth rock, being able to consistently put up points for them. So now Dubnyk is on the edge, and what happens? A goalie interference call ends up going against the Avs as Kerfoot ends up crashing into Dubnyk. Dubnyk completely loses his mind, tackles Kerfoot while punching him in the face with his blocker, and then pins Kerfoot to the ground by his head and continues to try and punch him in the head. Meanwhile, when Bernier got ran over by Zucker, he didn't do anything. So you've been whining all game, you've been hacking at players in front of you all game, you've been frustrated all game, and you blow up like that. That's not good. That's not a good thing for a goalie to do. And this brings me to my public service announcement. Every day, babies are born into families that force them to root for the Minnesota Wild. They're taught to idolize not-so-great players like Suter, Parise, and Dubnyk, and meanwhile they're forced to hate absolute beauties like McKinnon, Johnson, and Landeskog. If you live in Minnesota, please do your Avalanche duty today and raise an Avalanche fan. This has been an Avalanche Review public service announcement. Thank you. Back to the game, Dubnyk manages not only to negate the goalie interference by the Avalanche, but gets 4 minutes for effin' Ruffin to give the Avs a power play. And just as a sweet little cherry on top, Nathan McKinnon reminds the Wild that they have to play against him every time they play the Avs too. Nothing too special about the passing here. Rantanen's going to send it to Girard, Girard to McKinnon. McKinnon's just going to take his time at the top of the circles, set it up, pick a spot, and fire it like Dubnyk isn't even there. See ya. The Avs chase the world's saltiest goalie with 6 goals. And with yet another 3-point night, McKinnon moves into all-alone second place in the league in scoring with 52 points. I knew McKinnon was good. When he found his game this year, I knew he was really good. But if you told me at the halfway mark he would be ahead of players like Steven Stamkos, Patrick Kane, and Connor McDavid in total points, I wouldn't have believed you. But here we are. We can legitimately make an argument that the best player in the NHL plays for the Colorado Avalanche. That feels pretty good. So it was pretty much an easy cruise to the win for the Avalanche there. They did kill another penalty about halfway through the third. And then with time winding down, just for fun, why not add another one for the rookie? The puck coming up the boards in the Avs zone, Colin Wilson is going to make a dandy touch play to get around the defender, and then it's a race up the ice. Wilson coming in, has a bit of room to walk it in here, but actually sees Jost coming in late and makes a fantastic pass across, even after getting Stalock now in net to commit. Jost basically just has to put a tap in home here, but he rips it off the post and in. Teach him to be Wild Killers young. Tyson Jost has 9 NHL points. 3 of them have come against the Wild. I like the sound of that. And full credit to Colin Wilson tonight. Those were 2 fantastic passes, the one to Bork to start it and the one to Jost to end it. He really seems to be coming on and adding to the depth for the Avs now. And the Avs win 7-2 in what actually felt like a rivalry game. Bonus points. Calgary ended up beating Anaheim in regulation. So as of the making of this video, the Avs currently sit in the second wildcard spot in a playoff position. I want to be realistic, and the Avs have a lot of hard games against Western Conference teams in the second half of their season, so it's going to be extremely hard to hold on to a wildcard spot, but just the fact that they're in one at all at this point has me over the moon. We're on to the forced bye week now, so I'm just going to sit back, relax, and enjoy this win for the next 5 days. That is the end of this video review. Thank you for watching. I'm Rudo3, and how can you be the state of hockey if you've never won the Stanley Cup?